Hello. Hi. JYCA Gala. So yeah, I'm Nico, and I knew about JYCA in my first year of high school. I knew exactly when the deadline to apply was set for. I didn't apply. It's true. I'm not Jewish, although I like to pretend I am. I'm just a wannabe Jew, though. A Jewbie, you could say. I'd like to think I share cultural similarities with some of my Jewish friends. I celebrate Hanukkah. As of this year, I go to Passover Seders, and I know the Shabbat prayers. Okay, fine, I know a couple words and can almost convincingly mumble the rest. But anyways, like I said, sadly I'm not actually Jewish and felt that I could not contribute to JYCA as a Jewish organization. Instead, I chose to join the Berkeley High School Key Club in 9th grade, a club that was working towards the construction of schools in third world countries. Well, when are we going to start building these schools? Working with the people whose schools we are constructing? I asked the leader at the first meeting of the year. He chuckled. Oh, silly, you're never going to meet the students. You'll make some brownies to sell for a couple bake sales, give us the money you raise, and then forget about it. It's a charitable act. Charity. Okay, I could get behind that. So I baked, raised some money, it went somewhere, and then I forgot. And then I raised some more money, baked some more brownies, sent it off, and I forgot. It turns out the third time is in fact not the charm, because by that third batch of brownies, I had an existential brownie baking crisis. Who are these faceless people I was baking brownies for? If our stories never interrelated, was I truly making any impact on them, or them on me? Soon after, Key Club and me parted amicably. I was back to square one at the start of 10th grade. I wanted to integrate myself in a meaningful way, but was unsure of how to do so. Then my childhood friends, Lily and Claire, suggested I join JYCA. They told me about getting involved in direct action, showing up to demonstrations, working with children at Head Start, no bake sales necessary. They told me it was the youth themselves who were trained to plan and lead JYCA meetings. I felt re-energized about activism and getting more involved. Once again, I found myself faced with a difficult decision. Join JYCA and have the chance to pursue involvement of real value, or throw it away because I didn't have the same background as everyone else. As a Jewbie, naturally I joined. And I'm so grateful I did. You see, in JYCA I haven't had to bake one brownie for a faceless people. In Key Club I learned the concept of charity, of giving and forgetting. In JYCA I learned the concept of tzedakah. Charity is understood as a voluntary act, while tzedakah is understood as an obligation to do justice. I have taken this obligation for justice to mean something personal, not just to empathize with, but to be active in a cause. So with no previous social action experience, I joined JYCA's action committee, excited and quite intimidated. However, in little time I was taking to the streets to campaign door to door for Proposition 30, hearing what people had to say about progressive taxation in the context of education, and sharing my thoughts too. I was marching in Gala Plaza during the Occupy movement with JYCA in solidarity with thousands of others, learning of people's struggles and victories with economic inequity, and I couldn't have felt less intimidated. People do not connect with abstract issues. People connect with people. And this is why in the turmoil of a place like 2012's Gala Plaza, I felt no fear. I wasn't protesting inequity as this kind of imaginary abstraction, some overwhelming, anonymous entity. Instead, economic inequality and the fight against it became very tangible, with thousands of stories to back up its very real existence and thousands of stories of resistance against fiscal disparity. It is the linkage of stories that makes the social justice work JYCA does each year so important. We are out in the world interconnecting our stories with the stories of those around us for a more united society, even if that may feel scary at times. Among the most important linkages I have forged while in JYCA have been with my fellow JYCans. At the beginning of our meetings, everyone has a chance to share what's going on in their lives with the larger group. A check-in. Check-ins present a rare opportunity to be completely in the present, for just a moment to stop time and reflect on what the hell's going on, to listen and listen to. This listen and listen to, step up and step back approach to group dynamics ensures the nourishment of a cohort of voices instead of the titular leader that often dominates a given group. Leadership doesn't need to have some hyper-focus on one person commanding attention or having the most to say. Rather, Leadership is a group effort. An effort that, if done right, will produce the growth of a whole community rather than just individuals. I am impossibly lucky to have witnessed the growth of this community and of myself within it these last couple of years with among the most fearless, compassionate, and inspiring young people I've ever known. I'm set to graduate JYCA in 6 days, and I've been thinking about how I want to conduct myself as an alumni. So far, all I have decided is that any money I give won't come from a place of charity, me altruistically giving to JYCA with no reward. Instead, I view myself as a donor tonight as in a reciprocal relationship. For in my support of JYCA, JYCA will continue to support the development of a more just planet. I look forward to being intertwined in JYCA's future triumphs. So yes, in a few minutes, the wonderful Miriam Grant will come on and give a pitch. Give not just because it's a nice thing to do. I ask that you take a second to consider giving with me because this is a symbiotic relationship. I want you to be involved in JYCA's journey with me. Let's continue to be involved in each other's stories. Thank you.